Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on our platforms. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing details. Today we're discussing a classic originally launched in 2012. This is the Laurent Ferrier Classic Double Spiral Tourbillon, also known in the current collection simply as the Classic Tourbillon. The watch is 41 millimeters in diameter in white gold. This is actually gray gold, the good stuff that never needs to be rhodium plated. It's 13 millimeters thick, so 41 by 13 by 49.6 millimeters lug tip to lug tip with a spacing between the lugs of 20 millimeters. When you throw it on the wrist, and my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, it's got a lot of presence. Because it is broad at almost 50 millimeters lug to lug, I wouldn't recommend it for a wrist much smaller than mine. Here's 16. I think you could get away with 15, but if your wrist is smaller than that, you're going to want to look for a smaller Gallet watch. Now, the watch does have a substance to it, being all white gold and fairly large, so you're constantly reminded that you're wearing something special, and that's exactly how I like to wear expensive watches. The strap is high-grade, large rectangular scale, symmetrical scale alligator leather in black with a gloss finish, a sheer cut edge showing the layers, a monotone stitch, a little bit of bolstering to give it volume. You can see these scales are very large and symmetrical, speaking to a rather expensive cut of the material. On the bottom, you can see this is a Laurent Ferrier factory strap. There is a calfskin material on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging. And then we have a Laurent Ferrier white gold pin buckle with a wonderful fluid form that echoes the smoothed pebble or gallet shape of the case. The case is quite subtle. You can see all polished. It has a domed bezel. It is a relatively sheer but narrow case band, and you can see that there's several facets. There's the outermost flat face that is sheer, and there's a little bit of a rounded curvature to the top and the bottom of the mid-case profile. There's a little bit of a teardrop undertuck, and then we have an unbranded crown, vintage style with an onion profile, a nod to the pocket watch era right there. The dial is made of glorious, lustrous, polished black onyx. On top of that, you can see a very discreet ghosted tourbillon double spiral, and then a inset disc, also of onyx for the sub-seconds, radially arrayed, lacquered, Roman numerals, including a watchmaker's 4, and assegai or spear-style white gold hands that have been coated with a grained white lacquer. It is quite beautiful and very simple, but beneath there is even more to love. This is the FBN 91601. So FBN, Ferrier, Barmacini, Navas. Barmacini and Navas were former B&B concept watchmakers who created La Fabrique du Temps, which today is an LVMH company, and they were good friends with Christian Ferrier. That was the connecting bond between these two companies, Christian Ferrier, the son of Laurent Ferrier. And so jointly they conceived this movement, the parts of which are made by Fabrique du Temps, but the finishing and the regulation done in-house by Laurent Ferrier. The watch features an extraordinary design from the barrel all the way down to the escape, and you can see this lovely black polished click spring, much like a vintage pocket watch. You can see underneath that the teeth of the ratchet wheel have been polished, and the ratchet wheel itself has been circular satinated. Then the barrel features solarization on its cap. Taking a quick look at the wheels, they've been satinated across their top and internally beveled. The bevels, by the way, on all of the bridges, let's see if we can get a really good look here. They are a mile wide, rounded, and mirrored. This is real hand anglage. This is not some sort of trick performed with a lathe in a few minutes. This is time consuming, and you could see that sharp outward points were created where bevels meet, one of the signs of finishing virtuosity. You can also see that locating pegs that are used to help locate the bridges on the base plate beneath, even those peg tops have been black polished. Screw heads likewise black polished. I'm getting as close as I can here. You can see really easily on this particular screw that anchors the bridge for the tourbillon how it's been slotted and chamfered down the center and then beveled beveled on its edge. That speaks to the best quality of screw finishing. And the black top, of course, I say black because it turns black in every angle except the one in which it reflects light. The black polished top finished probably on a zinc plate. The stripes are incredibly broad and lustrous. You can see that there's a darkness gradient across them from light to dark. That's the sign of real abrasive wheel Côte de Genève, not the type that's stamped. And you can see that there is a beveling inside each one of the jewel sinks. The same has been lavished on the screw sinks. And then we have a bridge for the tourbillon that incorporates elements of 19th century and early 20th century chronometry trial tourbillon designs. Nowhere is that more obvious than on the left-hand side of your screen, where you can see that the bridge has been internally beveled, creating 1, 2, 3, 4 sharp interior angles, where bevels on steel, no less, not brass, but on steel, those bevels have been worked or wrought into sharp interior angles, very difficult to achieve. On the other side, you have a continuously rounded and specular finished bridge, and then the tourbillon carriage itself with a combination of polishing, beveling. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. You can see that the anchor itself is made of gold. We have 2 hairsprings. It is free sprung and adjusted in 6 positions for precision. It is a 1-minute tourbillon. The purpose of having 2 flat hairsprings is that they are positioned 180 degrees apart, horizontally opposed, so in any physical position, instantaneously they auto-correct. If one runs slow due to gravity, the other in the equal and opposite position will, by an equal and opposite margin, run fast. So when one runs slow, the other runs fast, always in an equal magnitude, ensuring that this tourbillon automatically compensates for the effect of gravity, reclaiming the original chronometric purpose of the tourbillon in the wristwatch era. 23 joules, 80-hour power reserve, manual wind, all of this water resistant down to 30 meters. Laurent Ferrier finish is singular. It's right up there among the absolute best from the likes of Romain Gauthier, Grubel Forsey, Lang und Heine. One might even say that it's up there with the likes of Dufour, Voutilainen, and de Bethune, all quite impressive. But this brand, uniquely among those, is the one that's underrated and a little bit overlooked. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.